do remix instead. See what happens? I don't know why it just started to bug out that moment.
I think it just wanted to, catch us
It
and
it
keep us on our
wanted to bug
toes.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
It just wanted to do it just that one time. Um, but Sean, one of the stories what they found out. Well, not really. They found out. I told them their menus suck. Is that so forward?
I
Just the
mean,
way, just the way it looks is just like from like 1980.
okay.
I'm not saying it's bad.
So
Not saying it's bad.
formatting, not necessarily the food on the menu, or is it the
Yes.
food in the menu too?
Well, I just wanted to premise that our current visual menu, the way it looks, the way it feels, it just felt 1980s, right? There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
Okay,
But we are living in the 21st century, and
right.
also we are serving more younger folks. Why don't we cater to just a little more pizzazz, a little more some zhuzh as they as they
Yeah, you
call it.
got. I mean, I think it's important that every once in a while you zhuzh something up. You give it
Correct.
you give it a little stir, see where things fall.
Just a little
See how
something, cause like
see how people react to it, and adjust.
yeah, it also like a turning of a new leaf. The old chef kind of retired his menu, so we retired that style. So now we're bringing in the new stuff. So like literally a new breath of
Right.
everything. And I say they found out because now they know that I do, social media stuff and pictures and all that format and goodness. So I'm like, look, let me do you a favor. Let me do this menu for you. Show you what I can do. Literally, it took me like a couple hours because I wanted to make a pizzazz on it. Now I
Sure.
don't want to bring it. I don't want to bring it to the screen because it'll be too tiny for us to see, nonetheless. But just to premise it, we're in a country club, so that's where we kind of went with it. I got some golf clubs. I duplicated some stuff. I made it look. You know what? I'm just gonna pull it up because that's where we're gonna go. But as I'm doing that though, Sean, how was your week though? I want to ask that because I'm gonna blat you with how mine went,
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
and
no
then we're gonna
problem, man.
compare.
It was a good week.
Yeah,
Got to see some family members. I had a pretty good, at least for me, it felt like a pretty good interview this week.
nice,
With the
nice, nice,
company
nice.
that I'm like really really interested in. Look, man, it was a good transfer of energy. For
Mm-hmm.
this week. So I'm looking forward to to keeping that going. Having a
Mm-hmm.
little get together over at the house. Some of my relatives were gonna watch the Mortal Kombat movie this weekend.
Yeah, that's what everybody was saying.
Yeah. It's definitely a throwback to some simpler times, and I'm again. I don't care if that movie is bad. I'm looking forward to hanging out with my relatives and in the crib. So yeah, it should
Now,
be
when
should
you
be it was a good weekend. It should be a good time.
gotcha, have you seen the original Mortal Kombat?
Oh, of course, yeah, man. I
Yo,
saw
come
that in
on.
theaters.
The class. I saw the first one in theaters. The second one I was already here
Hmm.
in the states, but it was an experience altogether. I can still
Yeah.
remember the opening song,
Hmm.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah,
Dun,
that
dun,
song is
dun,
that
dun,
song
dun, dun.
is a classic, man.
Classic,
Yeah,
classic
yeah.
song.
It's just I just remember thinking at the time that like I mean we played Mortal Kombat in the arcades and on the
Mm,
Super Nintendo and Genesis. Um, I was definitely more of a Street Fighter guy,
got it.
as far as the games were concerned. But I think when it's all said and done, I think I liked that Mortal Kombat movie more than I liked the live action Street Fighter movie with Jean Claude Van Damme.
I didn't like the Street Fighter
Like I
movie
like
one.
I guess my expectations were significantly higher for that movie than Mortal Kombat. So it's like,
Mm.
are either one of them good? No, but I guess I was underwhelmed for Street Fighter and whelmed for Mortal Kombat.
Got you. But you know what it is? It's the evil bosses. Think about it. The evil guy from Mortal Kombat 1, Shang Tsung, bro, the homie played it so well. He was like quintessential evil dude. Like you
Yeah,
felt the evil. But on the Street Fighter one, I forget who played Bison.
it was
But it was just
Raul Julia played
yeah.
Bison.
It was just like kind of like a performance kind of, you know what I'm saying?
And
Like
what's
they
his
threw
well,
some I don't know. I
yeah, I mean, it's like
For me,
it's interesting with that film because like that ended up being one of his last movies before he died. And when they were recording or filming that movie, he was significantly ill. So despite the fact that guy is like an accomplished actor, I think it was a case of like his compromised health and a pretty poor script, and it's just like what is he gonna deliver for you. And honestly, when I think about like what they were trying to pull off with that movie with the limited technology available to them, I think like if someone were trying to do if they were trying to make a movie or some fiction around Street Fighter now and do it in a live action way, it would be significantly better.
got it.
Yeah, even given like the lack of real character development and storyline that was available to I guess the film writers at that point in time.
Yeah. I just didn't I don't know. To me cuz okay, my favorite Street Fighter character is Blanca, right?
Okay,
But
yeah.
for storage like okay, have you seen the animated Street Fighter?
Oh, of course, man. That
Okay.
movie was like one of the first animated like
Bananas.
really made me
Amazing.
pay attention.
My favorite in that movie was Chun-Li. Just
Oh
the
yeah,
way they portrayed her, such a
she's a
badass, right?
badass.
I was
Yeah.
just like, yo, this is how it should be for women MCs to be like straight up in anime. Like it's just
I mean, she was
amazing
like
fight
the
choreo.
anime super cop.
Yo, she was amazing in that, right? Whoever decided is just phenomenal. But that's how it should be. So when I saw the movie, the action, the live action, I'm expecting that kind of format. Like I'm like picturing the Chun-Li that I really liked in the animated version to
Sure.
be transported in the live action, and it felt really bad. I forget who the actress that did Chun-Li on it, but it wasn't the Chun-Li that I like. But anyway, regardless, so what I was trying to say was that was the old stuff, right? So we're gonna try to revamp it, like in the Mortal Kombat that you're gonna see soon. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it lives up to whatever it was before then, maybe a little better. So we were revamping it. So
The funny thing is like to me it doesn't have to. Like it's not
it
even
doesn't have
about
to.
that.
Correct, correct,
Like
correct.
I am expecting a C plus at best. You
C
know?
plus.
Like if it's a C minus, that's fine. If it's a D, that's fine. I'm just gonna get to watch it with, some of my favorite people. We're gonna eat good and we're gonna laugh and,
And that's it.
go back to, our our responsibilities, in the next day and in the following week. But it'll be cool to just spend some time with them because we haven't gotten a chance to do that obviously since the
Of course.
pandemic was just a twinkle in our eyes
Because of Rona, you could say it,
because
Sean.
of the Rona. But yeah,
So
man, it
so
should be
hopefully
a good time.
in the same likeness, our menu isn't C plus. So this is what I did, Sean. So here
Okay.
you can see our little menu. So I sent it to you in a text, and you were like, definitely want the club wings and the crunchy fried burger. So all of this is pretty much there's maybe 20% from the old chef still in there, but we revamped some of it, the plating of it, to make it our own pretty much. But this is what we're gonna roll with. So this is the pub menu, and there's another menu. There's several others, but that's like the feel of it. We want to breathe a new life into the kitchen and just give it like the not the younger feel, but we were younger than the prior chef before us. So that's what we're kind of do. So much so, Sean, and you can even notice I trimmed my beard today. Can you see
Yeah,
this?
I see. You got
You you can see my chin underneath.
some artfully constrained scruff. It's there.
You
It's
could
it's rugged.
You can see the chin from underneath
but
now.
restrained. Yeah, yeah.
Before you weren't able to because it was longer. But regardless, I wanted to talk about plastic because
Okay.
it just felt ridiculous the amount of plastic we use in restaurants and whatnot. But before we do kind of get into it though, Sean, do we wanna tackle some tech news really quickly
Oh yeah, yeah.
so we
We can
can get
do
yeah. I was
a
excited
tech,
when you sent this over. I was like, yes,
yeah, a Tech Thursday on a
yeah,
Friday.
yeah, yeah.
It's all
Let's do
good.
this.
So
All right.
man, the biggest story this week in consumer tech was Apple's press conference where
Mm-hmm.
they unveiled some some new products as well as kind of refresh some of their old ones. So in terms of refreshed old products, they announced a purple iPhone 12, which is cool. But why
It's
that's
great.
significant is because now that color gradient is also going to match some of their refreshed iMac lines. So it's a 24-inch model, and you'll be able to purchase it soon in blue, purple, red, orange, yellow, and teal, as well as standard like silver. And for those who remember, the iMac line launched way back when in the late 90s, early 2000s in similar colorways. The iMac line is like noted by being like all in one computers.
Mm-hmm.
Way back when they were CRT based, and had space inside the chassis for CD-ROM drives or DVD-ROM drives, and standard hard drives, and now they come with SSDs and RAM to boot.
RAM to
What do
boot.
you what do you think of the design? I know you have it pulled up on the screen there.
So like Sean, what is the model? I don't want to say it was colored like this too, but it was the clamshell Mac. Was
Yeah,
it
those were
laptop?
those were the G3, if I'm not mistaken, like the G3
Yeah,
MacBooks were like
that
candy coated, like in the similar
yeah.
colorways as well.
This is exactly where my brain went first. Like I was like, oh my god, it's just like that. I think it came out like 90, maybe
Yeah, I feel
literally
like it was
early two
like
thousand or
yeah,
something.
definitely late 90s.
Yeah, that's what I immediately thought. I was like, oh, a revamped version, but this time, the clean flat bezels, literally all in one system, all in go. And just looking at the specs on it, like, bro, this can pump out. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah. They're, continuing their shift away from x86 processors and going with Apple's internally developed M1 chips.
yeah,
These chips are found in now their mobile computers, as well as their tablets and phones, and as well as in their Apple TV streaming media devices. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, pretty
it's
interesting,
great.
and
I dig it.
they offer extreme performance on phones and tablets, and in form factors like laptops and iMacs. They should offer even more performance because they can do more active real time cooling. You know, so they don't have
I dig
to
it.
throttle the processors. For compromised battery lives and things like tablets and phones. So looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool.
No, it looks great. If I were to go back to a Mac again, it'd definitely be one of these or the old MacBook Pros. Literally the only two things that I would probably go back. But since I don't, I have a PC. But yeah, if I were to go back to Mac.
Apple also unveiled the AirTag. So AirTags are these small devices that you can literally clip onto your personal belongings and track their location in real time. So for those who are familiar with Find My Phone, you can kind of set that up on your phone or your iPad, your laptops and the like, and you can track their location in real time. If you lose them, or if they're stolen, this information can be used to help track them down. So Apple's selling these AirTags for $29 a piece, and you can buy a 4 pack for $99.
But okay, so here's my only gripe with it, right? I mean, it's not like they're the first company to do this.
No,
What say for me, especially on this bag, to just rip this little holster, get rid of this tag altogether, and then sayonara, pretty much. I still manage to
well,
steal
I
the
guess
bag.
yes. If you're I feel like this is not a theft deterrent
Got
device,
it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
obviously because it can be removed from, the item. But I guess if you're the type of person that is pretty forgetful, it's
Ah,
another way to kind of keep track of where your things happen to be.
it's like, hey, where's my keys? Right? Or some shit like that. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
So, Apple rolled out a new 4K Apple TV. Said it's coming again with one of their A12 Bionic chips, and that's the same chip that is in the current iPhone. It's going to support HDMI 2.1. So for those who don't know, that means you can get 4K signals routed to your uh, compatible monitors at frame rates up to 120 hertz. It can support 8K for some future proofing, and then supports things like extended arc. So with that technology, you can hook up things like sound bars and external speakers, and
Mm,
it'll work in concert with your television to intelligently route the proper sound signals, and be able to provide all that functionality just through HDMI cables. So pretty cool stuff. And it's also coming with a slightly upgraded remote.
it's like the all-in-one shebang, pretty much. Like it will all hook up to this, and it will output itself, which is like pretty insane. I dig it.
Also, one thing they announced was an update to the Apple Podcast platform. So this is really a benefit for content creators as well as content consumers. And what it provides is an opportunity for podcasters to sell or provide extra content directly through the Apple Podcasting app, and
Oh,
accept and receive payments directly through there. So, let's say you were running or making a podcast or listening to a podcast, and you might hear during the show that, hey, if you go to a platform like Patreon, maybe you can get some additional content. What this is going to do is kind of bring those extra revenue streams right onto the platform. So, it'll be your one stop shop. And coincidentally, Spotify is also running out something very, very similar to that. So, they're going to provide an easier pathway for, customers and content producers to, monetize that extra content, and, get their little slice of the pie for the convenience.
that's kind of cool. I dig it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm sure Patreon's like, what? Huh?
So what do you
Yeah.
mean?
What do you mean? Yeah. Also in tech, Amazon's Cashier-Less tech could be ready for full-size supermarkets.
I'm so ready for this.
So yeah,
So ready
there
for
are
this.
documents and planning for a Connecticut location, with a similar setup to Amazon Go's outlets. And if you're not familiar with how Amazon Go works, literally the store does not have any cashiers. All of the products in the store are tagged with sensors. And as you walk into the store, you're gonna literally walk in and sign in with your Amazon account. And as you're moving through these stores and putting things into your basket, they're going to be able to kind of track your location and track the location of the products. And when you leave the premises with your merchandise, you know you check out, and you're billed instantaneously to your Amazon account. What say ye, Casey, for this and for supermarkets? How do you feel?
Yo, so when my wife and I already do some grocery shopping, we prefer. Actually, she prefers to go to self checkout lanes anyway. So we would do it ourselves. I've been also going to self checkout lanes myself because it's just convenient. Like I'm already doing now. To take it one step further, if I don't have to do it, I can just walk out. It already did it for me. I mean, happy days. I'm so ready for this. I'm so ready for this.
Yeah, I think it's cool, and generally, I'm with you on that. When I'm shopping by myself, self checkout is fine. When I got the baby with me, man, I'm playing the Jenga game where I'm like putting stuff on the conveyor and taking things out of her hands. So generally, then I'm gonna go to a cashier. But clearly, this is the way of the future.
I dig it.
Yeah,
Dig it.
it's pretty dope.
Now, granted, I'm
And
pretty sure there's still going to be people there that work there.
oh, for
Just
sure. I
in
mean, you're gonna still need
case.
people there, to answer and ask questions to stock shelves and and the like, and direct the flow of traffic, from place to place. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, to
Wow.
see where this is all heading. And then my last story for the week is one personally find like super super duper impressive. I think the Wright brothers would be impressed as well.
Mm,
This week, NASA's flown a helicopter on Mars, and it went brilliantly.
it looks cool. Like
Yeah,
it looks really. It's pretty nice.
yeah. So for those who don't know, NASA launched a mission to Mars earlier this year and successfully landed a new rover on the planet. We mentioned it on podcasts prior, but what
Hmm.
made this particular rover a little different was that it also had a helicopter drone, and they were able to successfully launch it. So it's crazy to think we've crested the skies, we've taken to the stars, we've landed on another planet, and we've been able to take to the skies there too.
Now it's a
It's a
helicopter
yeah,
running around.
yeah.
Oof.
It's This is a huge mark for humanity, man. It's funny because like you'll see cheap ass drones everywhere now. I think I was looking through my email and I saw an ad for one for like $29. Had weird LEDs and you could fly it around your living room. But hey, man, some of our brilliant minds figured out how to do this remotely on another planet. Like,
I'm down. So
this
this is not an Elon conspired event. This is just shit up NASA for the time being.
this is NASA. This is your tax dollars at work, man.
This is it. This is it
This
right
is
here.
it.
This is we're spending billions
Hmm.
for the chance into tomorrow, which is this is phenomenal. I dig it. It does look like a dragonfly. Not that they kind of
Yeah, yeah.
mention it,
And
right?
again, it's like pretty cool too to like see. It's like, all right, so this thing was up in the air, and we're able to snap a photo of it from the perspective of the rover, of it in flight, man. It's pretty
Oof.
pretty pretty amazing, pretty amazing.
I think by the time we're almost dead, Sean, we can fly. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get. We're like, it's like, hold on, let me zip over there. It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be great. I'm all for it. I'm down. Even if my limbs fall off, coming to see you or whatever. I'm like, it's fine. I mean, what? I'm like 85 or some shit. Like, it's fine. Oh my goodness.
And that,
Those are some
folks,
great, amazing tech this coming
yeah,
up, man.
yeah. That's our Tech Thursday on a Friday for this week.
Awesome. Now, the back into the business, like I mentioned, plastic waste. Sean, I want to open with this. Are you ready for this?
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
are you
ready.
ready for this? So not in the conventional way, but Sean, tell me what you see on the screen.
I need to enlarge that. Does that? It looks like cellophane on a toilet bowl.
Exactly. See, can we just take a moment on this genius, whoever started this, just to play this is like the craziest prank you can get on somebody, and then give somebody, like the runs. Oh my goodness, what a
Whoever
great
did
time.
that chose violence. Like there's a
Straight up.
there's a lot of times, and a lot of moments every day where like you can choose peace or you can choose violence.
They
That
they
person
were,
chose
yeah.
violence.
This is going to war right here, Sean.
Yeah,
This is
that is
like
that is that is an act of aggression, passive aggression, but that's an act of war.
it's an act of war.
And depending on
Secondly,
where that toilet is, it might be treason as well.
I mean, we've all thought about it. I've done this to my counselor back in camp
Is
a
that a
long time
saran
ago.
wrapped Civic Coupe?
Yes, yes,
Lovely,
Sean. That's where we're
lovely.
going with it. I mean, instead of, was it toilet paper, you would, right? This would
Yeah,
take more effort. This would be annoying. Yeah, we're going there. And then lastly, before we do go into it,
nice.
saran wrap when you just need to hold them drunks down. Yes, it's for it's the times like these, that you be thankful for saran wrap, aka plastic. But the reason I do want to get to it, Sean, it seems to me that it's just an absurd amount of plastic gets used in restaurants. Why do you think that?
Because it's relatively inexpensive and it has multiple uses.
No, but like specifically though, for the amount of plastic that we go through. Like, think about it: plastic cups, plastic utensils, plastic containers, different sizes of plastic containers. There's the saran wrap that we use all the time. There's bigger plastic that are malleable, and also high temp plastic that we use
Sure.
on a line. There's plastic parts and everything in a dishwasher that I freaking hate every time it goes away. It's just a whole slew of it. It seems that we can't live without it, but we're trying to minimize the waste. But can we, though? Let's think about it. Let's think about it. Do you
I
think we
mean,
can?
I feel like now you've introduced some issues that are just larger than what's going on in the average kitchen. I mean, now we're talking
Is
about
it?
like,
Is it though,
boy,
Sean?
is it like oil dependencies all around the world, right? Like, again, it's abundant. It's relatively easy to manufacture and mold. It suits all sorts of different purposes. And yeah, because it's so cheap, it just encourages people to replace it, when it breaks, rather than invest in critical infrastructure that's kind of based around more permanent fixtures, depending on the application. But yeah, man, it's just it's cheap and it's there.
I know it's cheap and it's there, but Sean, do you remember? So, talking about, this is our restaurant, right? During our time there, do you remember our plastic budget?
I don't actually.
$700. That was our plastic budget. Can you recall which of the items cost the most for our plastic budget by week?
When you're saying by week, just think about like what we would go through the most. I would assume it would either be takeout bags, straws, saran wrap, or kids cups.
Correct. The kids cups were $72 a case. Kids
Yeah,
cups.
yeah,
Kids
yeah.
cups.
Well, see, that one would make the sense. It would make sense because even though like by unit you're using significantly less than everything else, I mean those were created specifically for our restaurant group. So yeah,
The
it
use
just
of that one plastic,
oh there.
$72. And it was only 75 pieces of it. So 75 sets of these plastic cups that you can give for children for to go, or
Right.
when they dine with us, we
Sure.
give them a plastic to go, or just the little plastic thing. And then servers would always fucking use these damn things because one, you'd be right by the server station.
Yeah, they're super
Two,
convenient. They're right there.
if I catch you, I will murder you because they cost so much. But just in terms of cost, though, actually, our black plastic to goes, Sean, were the
Right.
second most
So yeah, that's what I
used
figured it
and
would
most
be like.
expensive.
Yeah, like takeout stuff, the plastic bags and the like. Because again, you're using those in bulk, or potentially in bulk to go out the door. And then I would assume like saran wrap by volume is getting used a lot too.
Because like the way when I presented Juju this question when we were gonna go through like just the amount of plastic that we go through, I went about it like just how much stuff do we need for the functioning restaurant to use, and can we minimize it or somehow just like be a better cost effective in terms of to go, because like there's different versions of it now that it doesn't have to be plastic but just as good, biodegradable, but you're still paying like 25% more.
Sure.
That's the only thing that's holding it back. We need some kind of genius to figure out same amount of processes, same amount of cost, but a biodegradable version for for the plastic for us to consume, so it's not so it doesn't end up in like landfill or like in the ocean, because like that's the worst of it. But Sean, did you find anything like because I didn't look up like how did plastics come about,
For sure.
or like the
So
wrap itself?
yeah. So plastic wrap was actually developed by accident by Ralph Wiley from Dow Chemical. Um, he was originally intending for it to be used as a spray on planes and vehicles for the military to kind of protect them from
Oh,
rust and and breaking down, which is also kind of interesting because nowadays one of the coolest things you could do to your car is vinyl wrapping.
when you say sprays for planes, isn't the compound in the like the bed of the trucks, isn't that also polymer based?
It
Isn't that
is a
plastic
polymer.
based?
Yeah,
Right. So maybe it
yeah,
started from there. Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
And it turns out that plastic wrap wasn't developed for food until 1949 when it was used in the food industry, and and around like the early 50s when it started to be used for home use.
Do you think that it rolled out as an actual like saran wrap for home use, or you think like the Ziplocs,
I would be more inclined to believe it rolled out
or,
like saran wrap.
or maybe like portion bags? I
I
don't
could
know.
see.
Like it's just like trying to picture like how people lived back then. I don't know. I'm gonna say portion bags. I think portion bags how it rolled out back then because bread also like Wonder Bread in them,
Okay. Yeah.
right?
Right.
Because that's when it boomed also when everybody was kind of wrapping the breads, blah blah. During the war, I think that's how it would. I don't know. I didn't live it. Maybe somebody that lived during the 50s can tell us.
Hop in
If you're old,
yeah.
if you're over
Hey,
70, can
old
you please tell
podcast
us?
listener, can you please tell us which came first, Saran Wrap or Wonder Bread?
Now, when you did say plastic wrap was created, do we know what components
So
is
yeah,
in the?
so it was initially made from polyvinyl chloride, PVC, like the pipes.
Oh, like the pipes.
Yeah, which is still pretty common globally. What makes PVC good? Well, a good application in for that process is that like it has low permeability to water vapor and oxygen. So kind of keeps water and air out when it's wrapped tight, So, food that's kept inside will hold and, preserve a bit longer.
It's perfect for bread. Oh my god, cannot live without plastic for the bread use because like if you, I mean if we had like the cages, like the glass cages in our restaurant, that'd be great. But that's like one whole entire storage just for bread
Right.
because it'd be kind of
And
like useless. So we
and
keep it
again,
in, you know.
it's just what I was saying before, where like, yeah, you have plastic and like while it's not the best for the environment, like it's significantly cheaper to just roll through that plastic than to have some sort of permanent infrastructure like that glass cage.
I know. I think I want to solve the plastic the plastic issue tonight, Sean. Most
Tonight.
preferably, that'd be great. That'd be great. So here's my bit of info for you, Sean. Did you
Okay.
know? Here, I'll pull it up. So did you know online food delivery services grew from 2018 to 2019? Staggerly, is that a word? It just went kaboom. It just went bam, like just out of here. So
Sure.
the online food delivery market reached $34.3 billion in 2017, and by 2030 it's estimated that it will almost triple the amount. And that's just, if you think about it, every time you get a delivery, it actually depends where you go from. The pizzeria that we kind of order from, they always, it's the tin foils. So it's not necessarily plastic, but everywhere else will deliver you a plastic. It's in a bag. There's plastic
Sure.
utensils in it. It's probably in a brown paper bag, pretty much all the time. And then there's plastic containers holding the foods, because one, it's just a great vehicle to just keep everything kind of warm and neat. Like I use plastic containers for my to-go business too. So it's just a lot of plastic, right? But here's what I kind of wanted to get into. Sean, you're gonna be ecstatic about this. Published Wednesday, or I don't want to say Wednesday, but this came out. This came out 7 months ago. So 7 months ago, Wednesday,
Okay.
right? And I'm reading from one of these little things. Let's say they wrote about 39,000 to 53,000 microplastic particles a year come from these foods, and you consume plastic in the air, Sean. So this is just you drinking and eating just about 200 pieces of plastic a day, just from you opening your mouth and breathing.
That
Just,
sounds
just let
about,
that,
yeah.
yeah,
That,
just
that, that sounds about right.
it's disgusting. It's gross. Can't live without it, but you kind of need it. But you consume
Again,
it,
I
but you
mean,
don't need it.
you just even just looking at our desks here, this plastic
Uh,
abounds, right? Like
yeah, it's a lot
escape
of
it.
plastic everywhere.
Escape it. Keyboard, controller, speakers, the blinds, the camera, like everything.
It's just
I mean,
staggering amount.
even my jersey is polyester blend, like
It's
right, like
just gonna
plastic
be
everywhere.
plastic.
It's
So we can't
malleable.
live without it. We can't. We kind of need it. But here's the one thing, going back to going back to Amazon though. My brain immediately went, how much plastic does Amazon go through
Okay.
in a year, right? So it said Amazon didn't release this information, but they kind of did like a tally, whatever. This is from The Verge. They said Amazon probably used around 116 million pounds of plastic packaging. And think about it. When was the last time you got an Amazon package, Sean?
Uh, Today.
Was it in plastic?
There was plastic air bubbles around the product. The product was wrapped in plastic. There were plastic strands in the packing tape that kept the box together. Trying to
It's just
think,
so
the
much
labels probably
plastic.
plastic, as was the receipt inside was plastic.
I want to put out a PSA. I just want to, if you work in a restaurant, can you tell us just how much plastic you guys use? If you know the P&L number, let me know. I'm a sucker for numbers. Great. If you don't, just give me like a ballpark number. Like we use like a 10 by 2 amount every week or something like that, or something credible, something. We do 100 pieces of plastic foam containers to go every week, etc. I'll do the math for you. Just give me an average, and I would love to find out what you guys use also in your restaurants or even in your house. Sean, in your house, do you do this too? So in Asian households, we keep one bundle of plastic under the sink, all neatly tied up, just literally in a plastic with a bunch of plastic inside it, so I can use it later on.
Like plastic
So like,
bags.
yeah, like like from the supermarket or
Oh yeah, for
whatever,
sure, for
right?
sure. Like
That's pretty
for
cool.
sure, for sure. I mean, yeah, yeah.
But do you fold them?
No, I don't fold them. And what I will say is that like it's getting a little bit harder and harder to do because, the places that I shop, like, I'm trying to think, like we don't get as many plastic bags as we used to. Or at
Um,
least the ones that we would get are like porous. Like shop at Target,
mm,
like there's only but so much you can put in one of those
correct.
bags. But oh
Uh,
yeah, but before where like every place was like giving those plastic bags for I just ball them up and then throw them under the
mm,
sink and then like scrape food into it and then tie that off and drop it in the trash. It goes out that way. It's easy to kind of uh, contain smells and
correct.
spills. Between bigger trips to the trash can.
The next time I go to my mother's house, I'm gonna take a picture of her bag, her collection, and she's really proud of it because it's folded neatly, Sean, like in fours, like tucked under there. It's in sections. I think she's just bored. That's what it is.
Now
Because
now that you're reminding me, when I lived, in my last apartment when I lived on my own, I actually did have like a container that I got from the store where like you could take those plastic bags and like kind of put them in the top and then you would like dispense them for later
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
just for
yeah,
that
yeah,
same
yeah.
purpose. So yeah, I mean it wasn't folded, but I mean it was purposeful.
That's what we do, man. It's like a plastic thing. So even I the reason I share that at the restaurant, I do it.
Hey man,
I have a little bundle of like plastic like stuff that we've kind of pre-used. I will rewash it again because we only keep breads in it. Why would I throw it away? Plus, the Ziplocs are $47 a case. If I can save 2 cents out of that for the week, this is how we do costing, Sean. Okay, this is the problems of being chefs. Okay, we want to try. We don't want to penny pinch so much
sure, but
that
you want to find
you're
like all these micro efficiencies that can
correct.
turn into.
Just for bread, we're gonna save the container that it was in. As long as it's still okay, it's still it didn't get like punctured or anything. Still
Mhm.
fine. I will wash it. You can't put it in the dishwasher because it would just melt.
Yeah, I
But
was gonna say like so. Yeah, what was your process? Because like those plastics
hand
are.
wash, hand wash and sanitize into the bread sanitizer. So
Okay.
it's fairly easy. Literally just like wash it, and dunk it in there in 30 seconds, flip it out, let it dry. I look like an idiot. They thought I was mad. But I'm like, you laugh at me now, come back at me next month. Watch, we're gonna save $140. They're like, what? It's like I guarantee you, $140 because we're doing this one little thing. Now I took this upon myself, but that's kind of like the little things of plastic happens in the restaurant. There's so much plastic that just kind of not really wasted, but it's just I just feel like it's just today I got so mad. I was portioning I was portioning chicken wings, and we use portion bags for it.
Okay.
But if you can remember, our portion bags are the ones that comes in like a little plastic bag already
Yeah,
pre-portioned for you. They buy the rolls here, so it's like a big old chunk or a roll
and
that
you're
you like if you're in a
pulling
grocery
yeah,
market.
like a
Yeah,
perforated sheets off. Okay.
I don't have like my hands are sticky. They're like gross. Like I touch it
Right.
again, I pull it. Like it's annoying. At one point, it slipped out of my hand I just let it go. I'm like, you know what? It's good there. I'm gonna leave it on the floor. Screw you. I'll pick it up later. I went and grabbed the other one because we do have the bags too. They're a little
Okay.
smaller. I'm just like, screw it. I'm gonna tie the chicken wings in this one instead of the other one until I get to it. That's away from me. It was also a busy day at the restaurant because we're getting ready for the season open next week.
Okay.
So all this stuff goes live pretty much next week. So we're kind of making sure everything is in. And also Nikki might be off during the weekend because he is moving. You
All
know,
right.
he's going to a new house. So just in case, we're prepping just a tad bit more, so I'm not like screwed Saturday, Sunday by myself there. But yeah, man, that is my thing about plastic. So the final question is, Sean, who gets priority first when we're closing? Back of house or front of house for the saran wrap?
It should always be back of the house. It should always be. It should always be.
Can you explain to everybody why that is? Can we just take a minute for the back of house, folks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what we're talking about is at the end of the night, at least in the restaurant that we worked together, despite the fact that like we bought extra rolls of saran wrap, at the end of the night, everyone is looking for this resource because
Yeah.
um, you're going to flip your pans, restock your stations, label the contents of said pans, and prepare them for the next day of business. And everyone is trying to do this same task at the same time,
Hmm.
and somehow there's never enough. Like, it doesn't matter how much you buy it. Like, it literally got to the point in our restaurant where like the different cooks were like writing their names on on the carton to the saran wrap with snarky and funny little messages to each other.
Don't touch
Hide.
this.
Yeah, don't touch this. This belongs to this person. They'd be hiding it from each other. Literally, it's like someone would be wrapping something, turn their head, and someone
And
would
it's
take that
gone.
same thing and it's gone. And you know, um, yeah, with the at least at the place that we worked, with the different amount of things that the cooks needed to, wrap up and prepare for the next day. They definitely should have always had priority over the table setting tasks that the front of the house team needed to use the same
Now,
resources for.
Sean, pretend you're me. I'm gonna assume the general manager position for the time being. So I just ordered I just ordered 15 saran wraps for the restaurant
Sure.
next week. It's coming in. She goes, "Hey, did you guys order 15 saran wraps?" Sean, can you answer this in my tone to the general manager why we need 15 saran wraps for next week?
Yeah, for sure. We need 15 saran wraps because we want to make sure that everything in this place is fresh and labeled accordingly. We wouldn't want to fail a health and sanitation audit, simply
Ooh,
because
that was a
we
good
did,
one.
right, because we simply did not have the right resources. And,
Wow.
obviously, as new management staff at this establishment, what we want to establish is a new baseline of sanitation practices, and that's going to exist because we'll know that we always have the resources on hand to get the job done.
Wow, that was a full on paragraph. Sean, you want to know what I said?
What'd you say?
Because we need it.
Perfect. You know what? Sometimes brevity is
That was
all you
it.
need, right? Because we need it, right? I mean, it makes sense,
Because we
right?
need it.
Sometimes my daughter's having a full on temper tantrum and she looks up at me and I just go, because I said so.
Exactly. It's the exact same motion. Now, I was more like future proofing. So we have 3 kitchens in the restaurant. So we need at least 3 downstairs by the pub, 1 by the bartenders, 1 in the actual kitchen, one as a backup, literally just in case one of the fucking other ones go missing. We have another kitchen at the pool. They need at least 4 there, plus one backup.
Okay.
And then there's one by the main kitchen by me. There's 4 stations, so 4 saran wraps plus 2 backups. That's why there's a 15 there. Is that 15? Did I do it kind of right? Maybe 16. Doesn't matter.
Sounded right.
Almost there.
Let me
Just about
ask
that.
you. Well, if that sounds like a decent accounting for what you would normally need, how much were they normally ordering? If 15 sound like excessive.
They were ordering like a case, Sean, cases. So a case has 25 in it. Like 25. It's like a half bundle to come in at the restaurant.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, all right, a little excessive. Let's try 15. Let's do 1 per station for now. If we need it, we can order some more. But like I think they keep taking the stuff and like forgetting where they put it. I think that's what's happening. Because like if you walk around, like I haven't done it yet. If you walk around the club, I can guarantee you, I'll find it by like the trash somewhere in the corner, literally somewhere where it's not supposed to be. That they just took it to use it right there real quick and just say, oh, I'll put it back later. I think that's what's happening. And then eventually, the grounds keep people. We just like, this looks like trash, throw it away because it got through weather or some junk. And that's how we're missing all the saran wrap. This is just saran wrap.
I mean,
Sean.
That sounds like a good opportunity to kind of look at, how the staff is going to be resetting their stations at the end of each shift too. Because I mean, if you're just finding them randomly strewn about, then clearly no one is expecting them to be a place, nor expect them to have to put it back in that place.
Yeah.
So, seems like an opportunity.
You work with me. I'm pretty OCD with my stuff. You're pretty OCD with your stuff. I literally keep my stuff in one zone all the time, in the same spot. That way, if I turn around for some kind of business, I know my tongs are right here. Yeah. There's a rag right there. Sure. There's like 3 things, literally wherever it is in my place. I know no matter where I turn around.
Just kind of get to it with muscle memory.
The cooks around me have no clue what the hell that is for the timing. Grabbing left and right, just tossing and stuff. I get it. Everyone's different. But like, if we can get into the same
if you're
space as that
at a high level, then you gotta have the right resources and like an economy of movement too, because like you don't want to waste time, like too much time. It's because like it doesn't seem like much, right? But like you could overextend yourself. I mean, you're just wasting time. You're saving a second here or there on every item that you produce. I mean, how many minutes do you kind of get back to produce other things at a high level later?
Yo, should we tackle that right now? I have the biggest pet peeve right now. Okay, this is the last moments of this podcast. Take this into account. No matter what kitchen you are, there needs to be drawers, like cooler drawers in your kitchen. One, because you can access it like literally like this, sleeves. You can position it, at least 4 of those at every station, right? Sean, when I tell you, can you guess how many drawers we have in this restaurant, in the main kitchen?
What, like 5 or 6?
1.
No way.
Bro, I'm going to take a picture for you tomorrow, and you'll see exactly what so tonight, at one point, we had not a 30 top, but 30 people walked in the restaurant. All wanted apps, all wanted entrees. Technically, 60 items of food needs to come out, right? If you're in the kitchen with me, the grill is behind me. I have a little mini table here. Underneath is it's a pull out cooler drawer. Doesn't help me out because I have to bend down. I have to like look in there and reach where the hell the sauces are. That's one, where we keep the sauces. To my right is where the pantry is. That's where we do the sets. Literally 6 steps away, Sean. 6 steps away. The plates I can't really put on top of where that little pantry is, so I have to keep opening. The plates are over there to the left of that little mini table in a hot well, because that's the
Okay.
only place we have space to keep the plates, close enough for me. So when we have to do set, when Nikki goes, Case, I need 7 burger sets, I literally would go over across from him, set the fucking plates down, right? Go over again to the pantry, which is 6 steps away,
Right.
get the sets, the stupid sets, and then walk them again across the other side. I'm like, for the love of God, can we just get one fucking drawer over there on that side? Literally, we'll omit all this. Do sets, bam, 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 open a drawer, boom, boom, boom. Literally, that's it, right? That was the main issue tonight. I was just like, this is insane. This is insane. Like, the food is so much better. Great. Awesome. I love it.
Sure.
Everybody's saying it. Great. Now, when the food is awesome, more people is going to come here because they expect
Right.
more people to come in. Now, when the business becomes 100, 200 for dinner, and we don't have jars, bro, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk.
Crash. Things will be sitting around getting cooler,
Mm-hmm.
and your satisfaction scores are going to reflect
Right.
that.
So this is, I'm already setting this up. It's already in my notes. I know it's gonna happen. So when the owner runs his mouth, I know, I know. I'm like the first. This is like the first official month, maybe 2 months. Be like, oh, what's happening? Blah blah. I'm like, I told your GM, the CO, and the food and bev director to give me fucking jars. Give me damn jars. Literally, that's my main issue. I don't care. Stop production for like 3 days. Give me the damn jars. That's it. We will all be happy. Amazing.
That's it, man.
I'm already. I'm getting ready for conflict here, John. Like
Hey,
I'm
man,
ready.
look,
I'm ready to go to war.
you need to invest
But
in
like
the
I need yours.
infrastructure. That's the key to building solid foundations, man.
But yeah, that's it. So in terms of the plastic, we want to reduce the waste. It is kind of cool to see where plastic came about from PVC.
Sure.
Kind of. That's pretty interesting. I never knew. I thought it was just kind of. I really thought like it started because of the bread, like when Wonder Bread and them like kind of developed it because they needed something to wrap it in somehow. I don't know. But I didn't realize it came from in the military. Well, if you think about it,
Yeah,
everything kind of started for the
yeah,
war.
a lot of innovation comes from the scale that solving the problems that the military needs to solve. Okay.
Okay.
Communications, like lots of things come
Plastic,
in.
going to the moon,
Hey, man.
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. Oh, Dogecoin.
Oh, we're just going there. All right. Not too crazy though. Hopefully everybody's going a little better.
Yeah.
But Sean, you wanna X us out?
Oh, yeah. So this week, I want to spend and send a very, very special shout out to some friends of the show, Satal
Oh,
and John Michael, for
hey.
welcoming their little baby girl into the world.
Aw,
Miss Aaliyah is here with us. Happy birthday, little
happy
lady.
birthday.
And to you new parents, here is my advice because I know you're gonna get a lot of advice. Get sleep when you can. It's gonna be more valuable to you in these first couple of weeks and months than it has ever been. It's gonna seem hard, but take time to support each other through all of this because yeah, man, bringing another life into your world of responsibilities, it is a lot. There's gonna be all sorts of moments of triumph and strife. Support each other through it, and eat as well as you can in the moments that you can, and get as much rest as you can. I can tell you the horror stories, but eventually you kind of break through those early periods, and kind of settle into some new ones, man. But congratulations to you guys.
Congrats.
Much love to you. And health, wealth, and success for little Aaliyah.
Aw, that's such a nice name.
Yeah, man. Beautiful little girl. Beautiful little girl. Great people.
For everybody, I know John Michael was our kitchen manager at our restaurant, so he's cool dudes. All right, nothing crazy, guys. Looking up into the calendar though, looming. When I say looming, Sean, Mother's Day is right around the corner.
Telling you, man.
Okay. It's right
Get
there.
on it. I feel like I tell you guys every week.
2 weeks away.
Figure it out.
Don't mess around.
Figure it out, man.
Don't mess around. Cinco de Mayo don't really necessarily go too crazy in a restaurant. Actually, depends what kind of restaurant you are. Depends what kind of restaurant you are.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're doing anything Cinco de Mayo. I don't know right now.
I would imagine it's probably not too big of a thing.
I don't know. I'm still. We're still trying to tread water for Mother's Day and Father's Day and Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. So we're not even there yet. As soon as we get over that hump, I think we're good. And then, full sails on ahead. But for the time being, major focus there, making sure all the equipment still works. I still haven't checked the pool, Sean. That's like the big thing, and it's opening in like 3 weeks. So I literally need to get on that. That's my responsibility. Nikki's handling the main kitchen for the time being. It's just so much stuff. Okay, there's just so much
stuff. Where you gonna
stuff.
find all your saran wrap? It's all out there. You need to get over there quick, man.
You know what's funny? Carl's gonna be working at the pool. So if something goes amiss, I'm like, homie, I know where you live. All right, that is it. That's it, crazy. Wash your hands. Don't touch anybody. Get the vaccine. Okay. But Sean, you wanna do the outro for us?
Yeah. So, everybody, you've been listening to the Chef Salty podcast with Casey and Sean. This podcast can be found on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. You can find video of these episodes streaming and archived on YouTube at Chef Salty Pork. Reach us by email at AskChefSalty@gmail.com. I got it right this week.
Hey.
And you can reach out to me directly on Twitter at MetroCardX.
Tweet Sean. Literally tweet him.
Hit me up.
He will answer you back.
Yeah,
do not tweet me.
Let's talk Mortal Kombat. Why not?
Yo, tell me about the Mortal Kombat, man.
Yeah.
Like I really want to watch it too, but I don't know. Let me know. I might go see it. Maybe. I might bootleg it.
Oh, dude, man.
I'm kidding. I'm not
Hit
gonna
me
do
up,
that.
man. I'll just give you my HBO Max login.
I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, don't go crazy, yeah? Everybody else.
Right. Peace out, internet.